All right, I'm Ashley Caprice with Conversations with Caprice. There's been a lot going on in Baltimore right now. There's a protest going on in honor of Freddie Gray, who we do not know what happened to him while in police custody, but we do know that he suffered spinal injuries after being held in police custody, and he died shortly after. I reached out to actually Magik200 on Instagram. He's been on CNN and a few news outlets speaking about what's going on out there. And I want you to shed light because when I watch the news, it's totally different from what I'm seeing on Instagram. Like, I feel like everyone is their own reporter now and able to put out real images.
Right.
Like when I watched the news the other day, all they were talking about was rioting and a liquor store being burnt down. Well, I'm like, well, what was the cause of that? They're not talking about the cause. So,
Right.
right, exactly, right? So describe the scene for me and what's really going on.
Well, out here, some people fail to realize it's not just Freddie Gray. Like, these kids are hurting from things that's going on right now in our city. Like, these kids are being violated. Like, we're being violated, period.
Mm-hmm.
And, they lashed out. And they didn't have, positive figures and positive people in the community to really show them how to do things. Me and a few of my brothers, we went up to Security Square Mall a few days ago because we heard that the kids wanted to, tear the mall up.
Mm-hmm.
We stood up there. We waited until they got out of school, and as soon as they got off the bus, we were at them like, why are you doing this? Like, what are you trying? What message are you trying to get across by messing this mall up? And they just like, man, I'm tired of the police. Like, I'm just tired of them.
Oh,
They just
wow.
had different stories, and I just was telling them like, is it worth your life? Or come on now, this is not what we need to do as a city.
Right. You did say in the report that I watched, you said, I don't agree with what's going on, but I understand what's going on. Explain that to me.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by I don't agree with it, meaning I feel how they feel towards our justice system in Baltimore. Like, the law enforcement here has pushed us to our boiling point.
Mm-hmm.
And some people just express their anger in different ways. So I understand it from that aspect. And I told those kids, if I was 16 or 17 and this was going on in my neighborhood, I probably would feel the same way. I probably would want to go out and mess some stuff up. But, now that I'm a little older, I'm not even 30 yet, but
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten wise over the years. I've talked to a lot of older guys, and they try to, school me in the right manner. So I'm trying to tell these kids it's another way we can go about doing this. You tear up your own community. And if a lot of people say, this is not your community, you don't own your community, they're doing the right thing. Like, how can they be doing the right thing? How can this not be their community if this is where they live at? They might not own it money-wise, but they got to wake up to it. So it's like, come on, man, these cops, man, they go home at night. They
Right.
don't live in these neighborhoods. We live here.
Exactly.
Right.
And today happens to be the anniversary of, I'm in LA. So, it was,
Right.
the huge LA riots with Rodney King. And it's crazy to see that so many years later, the same stuff is still going on. And it's so sad. And I feel like people are rioting because they're angry, and
Right. Right.
and people want to focus on the rioting when it's like we're angry because of this. We're angry because another black man has been killed.
Absolutely. And it's like people go out, people speak out, and they say, well, what about the black on black crime in the community? I'm like, I'm trying to tell these people, like, what do you expect? Like, we are living in poverty in Baltimore City. Like, our
Mm-hmm.
demographic is mainly African American, so it's like, what do you expect to go on when it's a black community? Of course, it's going to be black on black crime. It's black people with
I mean,
poverty. Just
honestly,
like it,
there's white on
right?
white crime. There's Mexican
Exactly. Like,
crime,
if
but
in a white neighborhood, in a predominantly white area, it's going to be white on white crime.
right,
That's what's around.
right,
So don't try to shift attention by saying black on black crime. That's our thing in our
right.
community. I'm not promoting that by saying that, but I'm just saying violence is going to go on. Like, street justice has to happen in certain situations. But you guys are supposed to be police officers of our city. We don't need y'all killing us too on top of what's already going on,
Right.
and not getting penalized. Y'all get paid leave. Come on now, like.
It doesn't make it okay because we're saying I wrote about this on my blog, ashleycaprice.com, just yesterday, that because I had a response to people who say, oh, but what about black on black crime? It's like that doesn't justify what has been happening to our black men. Like, oh, okay, we should be okay with it because some of us or some of our people are killing each other, so it should be okay if other people kill us. Like, no,
Right.
it's still not cool.
All right.
And
All right.
it made me think about Kendrick Lamar's song the black or the berry. I like the image of you all standing, talking to the reporter and uniting and everything. But in his song, he talks about pretty much we listen to the song, we think, oh, okay, yeah, people are trying to kill us off, black, killing us off. But at the end, he talks about black on black crime and gang banging. And
Right.
so I did read the comments under the report yesterday of you and the guys, and some people were pretty harsh. You know, a lot of people thought it was kind of hypocritical because you all are involved in your own organizations, and people thought it was hypocritical that you all were speaking out about violence. Let me know what you think about that.
What I think about that is, like I tell people all the time, everybody has a past.
Mm-hmm.
And I've spoken out several times and said, we're not the most innocent people. Like, come on now. Like, nobody's innocent. Okay? Just because we put a label on our street organizations doesn't make it any different from another group of guys who, you know, are cool or real tight that roll together. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't hold what we do against us when we're trying to help.
Right.
Like, at least we're making an effort to help, and at least we're having effective changes in our city. We've really unified a lot of people, and we're getting a lot of attention right now on this city because of what we're doing, and it's like it's affecting lives. So give us our credit. Understand that some of us might have records, but some of us are actually also good people and very intelligent people. Despite what people may think, oh, they wearing colors, or they just a bunch of young, dumb thugs. Like, that's not the case. You got to give credit to the ones who are stepping up to make a change. People do things. Things happen. You know, nobody, like I said, nobody's perfect. We live in Baltimore City, so people don't understand. We live here. A lot of you guys don't see what actually goes on here.
So moving forward, what happens next between the different organizations?
As far as after the Freddie Gray situation, the verdict and everything?
Right. After everything, right now, you all are standing in unity.
Right.
Right. So are you going to continue to stand in unity
yes,
when
we
things...
we have to see how much progress we made with this.
Exactly.
Just imagine how much more we can do, you know.
Exactly.
We definitely didn't know that our voices reach so many people like that. People don't know that when the media put it out that the gangs were organizing to combat the police. I saw it while I was at work. I saw it come across my phone while I was at work. Somebody sent me the link, and I immediately went on a break. I went on a 15-minute break, and I went out back, and I said, man, I want to make a video. I want to let people know what's really going on. And I made a video just like basically venting. And when I checked my phone again, like, it was streaming, and I was like, whoa.
Right.
I didn't even think it was going to have that effect, and the video wound up just going viral. And I was just like, wow, people can relate, even though they're not in the city. We got people marching in New York and other states like that. Like,
and it's good to see people standing up for something. You know, it's good to see brothers coming together, and
right.
I believe if all of us come together and do something, we could make a change. You know, do something peacefully. We could make a change instead of us, you know, fighting each other and killing each other or whatever. I really do feel like if we all make a stand and come in solidarity, that good things could happen.
Absolutely.
So how is the scene now in Baltimore?
I mean, it's getting a lot better, man. It's getting a lot better. A lot of people helped out tonight. They helped clear the streets out. The community really helped. Street organizations helped. And everybody, you know, cleared the street up. And they let the crowd, and the police did not take forth. They let the crowd and the community break the fight up and get those people out of the streets. And then, you know, and they not all lined up like they usually were against us. You know, people in the community been speaking out saying, you know, we feel threatened when you guys line up like that on us, you know, yelling formation like that. You know, we feel threatened. You know, so they took different formations. They stood off to the side a little bit and, you know, just let the community handle the clearing of the streets. We're trying to uphold the curfew.
I just feel like all we want is justice and equality. Like,
exactly.
that's it.
At the end of the day.
That's all we want.
It's simple.
And respect. Justice, equality, and respect. And that's it, you know? And we could all get along. Like, seriously.
You know it.
Yeah. Okay, so that issue was tough to discuss, and I did speak about music a little earlier with Kendrick Lamar's song, Black or the Berry, and I did check out your song, Where Were You? And so you're talking about pretty much like a ride or die chick who wasn't riding or dying with you.
Right, exactly.
Tell me a little bit about that song.
Man, that song, meant a lot to me, man. I was dealing with a female when I went into prison, and she told me she was there for me, everything was good, and how I go. A lot of guys in the system, they know that story, they can relate. They definitely can relate. So
it's good while it's good, but when it got bad,
good while it's good.
she was
When
gone.
it was bad, it was all bad. So
a
lot of people can relate to that song.
I'm so glad that I was able to speak with you today about what's going on out there and just getting the real story, because it's important.
That's no problem. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, it's important to get that out. Be safe out there and stay strong. And thank you so much for telling the truth, speaking up, and really trying to get the real story out there. We appreciate it.
No problem. I appreciate you.